Good morning. This is the CBC Morning News. In national headlines, Maclean's magazine has released its annual ranking of Canadian universities. And for the second year in a row, the University of British Columbia sits comfortably in the #1 position. UBC President Martha Piper says the survey results indicate the positive return of the Trek 2000 initiatives. The news is not so good, however, for...
Computer, what's the schedule for today?
Ren, last day for ordering tickets for Zelgon 26 McGee concert.
Computer, hold those concert tickets. Tell me about the Georgia Basin Futures Project.
1. Complete your research on forest management decision model this morning. 2. Meeting with working group in Forest Sciences Center, 11:30 a.m. today. 3. Seminar meeting, room 235, Forest Sciences Center, 2 p.m. 4. Public meeting on Georgia Basin, IRC building, 5 p.m. You also have life drawing class, 7 p.m. Emily Carr.
Computer, find the Georgia Basin Futures Project introductory lecture. I need to refresh my memory.
The Georgia Basin Interactive Research Program provides an opportunity for undergraduate and graduate students from UBC to apply the knowledge they've accumulated over the last 3 years to real problems in the region they inhabit. The Georgia Basin region faces many of the same challenges as other urban regions around the world: clean air, land use, water quality, energy. Over the next 6 months, you'll define desirable development pathways with members of the community from this region. You'll then map out the social, economic, and environmental impacts of those choices. We'll aggregate these choices into an integrated assessment model that will look a bit like SimCity for the Georgia Basin region. We'll then wheel that model out to members of the public who'll design desirable scenarios for the next 40 years for the Georgia Basin. Good luck with your research.
Computer, I need an overview of land use in the Georgia Basin. Combine the satellite image with the basin boundaries. Since we can't cut in the parks, block them out. Filter out the water from the satellite image too. Computer, open bookmarks, and show me the most recent papers that I've read from the library. I need to find out the elevation cutoff.
Here it is. 400 meters.
Show me the area greater than 400 meters in gray. Okay. So build the mountain layer first, then add the parks on top. That's better.
Great idea, Ren, but it seems to me that this work is more relevant to the industrial scenario. We need to make sure that we can quantify the community-managed forest scenario and accurately represent its consequences.
Our group's been working with the small-scale community development foresters in the region to construct their preferred scenario. It's been a tough multi-stakeholder process to design, but we have a better idea now. We need to include Susan, that forester from the Ilaho, in this conversation.
Hi, it's Susan here. My reaction to the stakeholder process is that managing forests is hard enough already. The public has a say at hearings where recommendations can be made, and land use decisions reflect what's said at those hearings.
We're comparing 3 different scenarios for forestry, Susan, and we need to assess all 3, even if you're interested only in one.
Let's take a look at the different cuts for your region, Susan. It has taken the technical team a lot of work to get these together, but they're looking pretty good. Computer, can you fly into Mike's area? Overlay each of the data layers. Display the different harvest yields. Send the summary file to Mike Baker. Mike, we'll have the same scenarios for community-managed forestry.
Thanks very much for the update, Group 2. How about Group 3? How did the forestry scenario development go?
We have the modeled scenarios for 3 different perspectives on land use and the summary of social, environmental, and economic consequences.
And did you involve Susan in these discussions?
Yes. Do you want me to call her up?
No, I just wanted to make sure that the certificate program students have been involved as well. Thanks very much for the presentation. That was very provocative. I'd now like to hear from the Community Advisory Panel on your views on the new scenarios.
The scenarios are all pretty accurate, and we're happy with the science behind them. They show that community-managed forestry can be pretty productive with the right kind of policies, and it's good to see the group has thought about training for conventional forest workers.
I agree. The scenarios are very interesting. In the last 6 months, the computer science department has been setting up web cameras in the woods, and it looks like there might be some commercial benefits which will go into a stewardship fund.
What you guys have missed in the 3 scenarios is the possible effects of treaty negotiations. You need to work on another scenario to show the effects of changes in land ownership.
That's a very good point, Jim. Rakesh, what do you think?
The province could find some money for some of your students over the summer.
We're thinking about extending the program into the summer for the certificate students anyway. UBC can provide some technical support for an extra couple of months. I think we can do it.